Shemai, I'm going to look at the B flat chord today. Now, as a beginner, there are certain chords that sort of cause a little bit of panic, and I think B flat is one of them, but there is something I can show you today that is hopefully going to make it a little bit easier for you to play. I'll show you the technical thing in a minute, and then I'll suggest some songs, because if you can find songs that you want to play and like practicing, that is by far the best way of learning to play a chord. Right, there are well, in fact, there's more. There's quite a few ways of playing the B flat chord. I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing it today, and then I'll tell you the one way that I actually prefer the students in school to learn it and why. So, first of all, let's look at the 2 chord charts. All right. Now then, the first one you can see has got a whole line going across the top fret. All right, this is a complete bar chord. So we would put our first finger across all the strings on the first fret, and we would place our second finger on our C string on the 2nd fret, and then our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the G string. So the full bar chord should sound like that, okay? Now you do need to make sure you're pressing your fingers down properly, otherwise you get, okay, so that's playing it with a bar. Now you might notice my finger actually is going across but over the actual fingerboard. So a little bit of my finger is pointing over the board. I'm actually going to turn this way for a second, and then you'll see it on the camera, which is attached to the ukulele. The reason I've turned it this way is there's a big light by there and it's going to blind you. So my first finger is going across all 4 strings, but sort of stretches out above. Now the reason for that is you need to get the best bits of your finger in contact with the string. All right, so that's playing it as a full bar. Now then, the other way, if you look at the chord chart again, has got a smaller line. It only goes across the 1st fret on the top 2 strings, the A string and the E string. All right, and then it's the same 2 frets, your middle finger, 2nd fret on the C string, and your ring finger, 3rd fret on the G string. Now when you go to play that, okay, again, got to make sure you're pressing the strings down. All right, so you get that nice clean sound. If you're not sure, pluck the strings one at a time. Now technically, a lot of people find this way harder to play than playing it as a full bar chord. All right, I'm going to turn round again for a second so the other camera can see without being blinded. So my first finger is crossing the first 2 strings. My middle finger, 2nd fret on the C string. My ring finger, 3rd fret on the G string. Okay, hopefully the little camera is picking that up. Now this is the bit that can help, okay? When you're playing the B flat chord this way, all right, you've sort of got to drop your wrist. I'm actually going to turn the uke over so you can see what I do. I'll come in a bit closer. Now, that's not the best way of seeing it, okay? I'm trying to, I go like that, okay? Like so, but it's quite subtle when you're playing it. So when I'm playing, let's say an F chord, all right, my thumb would be in the middle of the back of the neck, and I'm pretty much on my fingertips. Now I need this finger, my first finger, okay, to go across the 2 strings. So I need to flatten it a little bit, like so. And to do that, all right, if I go like this, you might see it better. All right, I'm actually bringing my whole wrist round a little bit, like so, okay? And that means that my first finger can play both the strings far easier. All right, so I'm going to do that slowly. I'll go from my F, then I'm going to lean back with my wrist and then move my fingers into place for the B flat chord. All right, I'm going to do it one more time with the camera facing this way. So there's my F, then I'm going to lean. Okay, now I'm saying F quite a lot, which is quite handy because B flat is found in the key of F. So they are very often played together. F, B flat, F, B flat. Chuck in a couple of C's and you've got a George Ezra song. All right? Okay, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but you get the idea. So practicing, okay? I would practice it B flat, F to start with because they're often related in the same song. So start with your B flat if you like, and then you can flatten your first finger ready to play across the 2 strings, then your middle finger, and then your ring finger. Then go to F, then flatten again, back to B flat, F, okay? And just practice rocking back and forth. Now, that's the reason why I prefer the students in school to learn that version of the B flat, where you're only pressing the first 2 strings down, because it's easier to go to F. If I do it with the bar chord, you're barring it, then to F. So I'm moving all my fingers again then suddenly, and it becomes a little bit more difficult technically. So that's the reason why I much prefer the students in school to learn it with your first finger only playing the top 2 strings. It's much, much easier to get from B flat to F doing that way. And because they're often found in songs together, the students manage to pick it up much, much faster. As I said earlier on in the video, by far the best way of practicing a chord is to find a song that you like. All right, I'll drop a load of links in the description below. Just off the top of my head, George Ezra always springs to mind. For example, Shotgun, Budapest. Budapest has only got B flat, C and F. All right, Shotgun, B flat, C, F and D minor. All right, but Price Tag, Walk of Life, Dire Straits, Jump in Line, Hold Back the River, Somebody That I Used to Know has got a B flat in it, Summer of 69. All right, I will put some links to the play-alongs with B flats that I use in school in the description below. And don't forget, if you're struggling, you can always slow down YouTube videos. I have made a video on it, but it's easy enough. Go to the settings and just change the speed. Find a song that's got B flat in it. Don't think, I'm not going to do that song because it's got B flat in it. If anything, think, right, I want to do that song. I'm going to learn B flat. Like every other chord, until you can play it, it can be daunting. I always remember in uke club one night that, we're going to look at the E chord, and I'm thinking, I'm not mentally prepared for it. All right, sometimes don't overthink things, just do it. And in this case with B flat, once you've realised by dropping your wrist, it makes it easier to play, tackle it that way. Practice it by finding a song that you want to learn, because that often is a little bit of incentive as well, wanting to learn something. And practice until you can do it. I do hope this video has helped. I will do some more chord lessons, but I have already gone over lots of chords in my chord drills as well. And they're another great way of practicing, especially some of the harder chord patterns, okay? You know what to do. If you've got a comment or a question, please feel free to drop it below. Give us a like if you've enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you for watching.